If you were hoping to be anonymous on the web in China, forget about it. Chat apps, discussion forums, and video games all require you to enter your real name and also provide your national ID number and phone number for registration. China also requires internet companies to store user data on local servers and to allow authorities to inspect them when they deem necessary. So while many in the West are up in arms about privacy and freedom of speech online, in China, users know that Big Brother is watching closely and has been doing so for a long time.
There have been the proposed bans of the Chinese-based app Tik Tok and the shooting down of spy balloons and other unidentified aircraft from China. Now, a new investigation by the Associated Press finds China has a lot of fans in the U.S., especially in Utah. As tensions rise with Beijing, the AP's report has given people pause, particularly some lawmakers. The investigation uncovering tactics from using pro-Beijing advocates to appeal to local communities in Utah, with some using the Mormon Church and the state's widespread following of that faith to sway officials.
And that's nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism.
See, the easiest way for you to understand how this scheme works is to think about this industry the same way you think about many products made in China. They're made to be cheap, produced like fast food, and often not meant to last long. Only for these women, they are the product being sold. With zero experience, they enter these influencer factories to be trained for up to 2 months, performing at least 6 to 12 hours daily in front of the camera. They sell products, sing, dance, chat with random strangers online, with some of them earning as low as $120 per month. Imagine having one building lined up with cubicles upon cubicles of dozens of pretty female live streamers who are meant to seem like they're just doing their passion to their audiences, each one guided by an agent who dictates how they should look. And the sad part, just like China made products that can only be good for so long, the manufactured fame of these everyday live streamers usually lasts for up to 6 months max.
Don't you get it? Am I the only one that gets it? It's a trick. Communism never dies. Communism is a cancer sleeping, awaiting the moment to devour our freedom, to devour democracy. Oh, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this guy's just some right-wing paranoid reactionary who had a horrible upbringing and whose father beat him every day with a Bible. Well, maybe that's true, but it never did me any harm.
Well, we're counting down to the end of the year. Christmas is just around the corner. You have the holidays in full swing now, shopping and everything like that. The day we recorded this, the week on there, we're looking at 50 degrees on there, but by the end of the week, we're about to hit for another dip. So we're about to get really super cold again. As a programming note, this will be the last full week of programming. The next several weeks will be winding down a bit, but we will still have content. Don't worry about it. We will still be producing. The Otaku Thursday will still be going on through into the new year, because there's a lot that is still going on. But we're going to bring you some special stories, some stuff that we've been trying to cover because of all the big stuff that's been going on right now between New York, the elections, including this story that's coming up on TikTok and many other things that have been going on. We've been trying to focus on that first, but we have some other stories that's coming along, and do stay tuned. Don't worry about it. Stay tuned. The craziest week will be the last 2 weeks of the year, obviously, because both holidays, New Year's and Christmas, slams right in the middle of the week. But we will be splitting it up a little bit between Monday and Thursday. So we'll bring you some real good stuff on there, some good stories. And of course, at Otaku Thursday, we'll be ending our year with our top 10, and also what is coming forward into the next year. But let's get with this. Let's get with this really, truly. This is one big thing that's been going on. And of course, the new president, this will have, ramifications during his administration. And if you didn't see the story before, when we talked about the adult site that is transferring TikTok content, adult content from the TikTok site to on there, I think what's going on, I think there's going to be a lot more of these sites pop up because of this is what's going on right now. Now, before, they've been trying to shut down TikTok in the U.S. Why? Well, basically, you have to remember, TikTok is owned by ByteDance. And basically, any company that is from China, that is a Chinese company, is owned by the CCP or controlled by the CCP. That means the government runs the company. And this has been an issue for quite some time now. And a lot of people will tell you, well, look, listen, my business was growing with TikTok. TikTok, it helped me, go get through things and stuff like that. Basically, I had a lot of fun on TikTok. Now, as far as the app itself, the overall app, it's a good app. It's intriguing on how it's built, but it's built from other apps. Because you have to remember one thing, and especially for those of you who have a business on TikTok, the Chinese is very well known to steal ideas, IPs, products, businesses from other countries. In other words, they'll steal it and make it cheaper and faster than you can produce it. Yeah, that's right. And they will turn a profit because people will more look at that. All you have to do is look at how they produce their content in China. They have large rooms, multiple people in front of cameras all day long on live streams. And that's on both regular TikTok and the Chinese version of TikTok. Now, back when Trump was president originally, the first time around, basically he tried to get this shut down. And President Biden as well signed off on that this was coming through. And since then, there have been appeal upon appeal to try to stop this. Now, I'm not in for censorship. I'm not all in for censorship. But when you have a business that uses a website app to try to steal information from its users, then you got a problem with that. That's a criminal business. People say, well, I love it. If you're successful on TikTok right now, you could be on other sites that are American made. See, this is the reason why we need Google and a couple other companies to be separated. We need them in split, sort of the Ma Bell separation, because basically they've become too powerful enough to keep the competition out. To flourish in any business, you need competition. Always. That's the challenge to that situation. Apps like TikTok doesn't allow for that much good competition. But we're starting to see, like I said, like TikTok porn and a couple of others that are taking content from TikTok and putting it on a different site, which is a good thing until they pull a YouTube, which because basically Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute used to pull content from YouTube from content creators that have signed up, and now YouTube has blocked that. How long before TikTok starts doing that? But let's get into this article because this basically it is important. Remember, TikTok is on the clock right now. They have about less than 40 days to either sell the company or get shut down in the U.S. So out of the AP, Federal Appeals Court upholds law requiring sale or ban of TikTok in the U.S. A Federal Appeals Court panel on Friday unanimously upheld a law that could lead to a ban on TikTok as soon as next month, handling a resounding defeat to the popular social media platform as it fights for its survival in the U.S. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit denied TikTok's petition to overthrow the law, which requires TikTok to break its ties with its China-based parent company ByteDance or be banned by mid-January, and rebuffs the company challenge of the statute, which it argued had run afoul of the First Amendment. The First Amendment exists to protect free speech in the United States, said the court's opinion, which was written by Judge Douglas Ginsburg. Here, the government acted solely to protect that freedom from a foreign adversary nation and to limit that adversary ability to gather data on people in the United States. TikTok and ByteDance, another plaintiff in the lawsuit, are expected to appeal to the Supreme Court, though it's unclear whether the court will take up the case. I believe it won't. The Supreme Court has established a historical record of protecting American rights to free speech and will expect to do it just on that important constitutional issue, TikTok spokesman Mike Hughes said in a statement. Unfortunately, the TikTok ban was conceived and pushed through based upon inaccurate, flawed, and hypothetical information resulting into the outright censorship of American people, Hughes said. Unless stopped, he argued, the statute will silence the voices of over 170 million Americans here in the U.S., around the world, in January 19, 2025. Here is one thing about this. This is where I have the problem. Now, Mr. Hughes says that it will outright silence the voices. TikTok, like YouTube, is known to bury certain content. Yeah, that's right. They shuffle around certain content. They move forward certain content. That's why we have all these dangerous TikTok challenges that have young people have died from. Many of them. And their lawsuits still pending to this day. They haven't been heard in front of a case, or they're in the middle of being adjudicated in a courtroom. Because you've had so many people die across the world because of these videos that were put forward ahead where TikTok said, well, we'll block them and stuff like that. But no, the damage was done. Nobody's paying attention. They're allowed to push these forward. And on top of that, certain, as they say, subjects have been pushed back on there. Certain looks of people, in other words, people that doesn't fit to the agenda of the Chinese has been shuffled around. We know that for a fact from many experts that have discussed this. We know that the information that has been put, and this is why we as a company, Cuticast TV, is not on TikTok for this reason. Information has been stolen, has been gathered by the CCP. You may say to yourself, well, doesn't YouTube do that? And doesn't this and that? The major difference is this is a foreign company. In time, we will deal with YouTube, Google, and all the rest there that have done similar things. But right now, we have a foreign adversary who is removing that information, who's taking that information, and who knows what they're using for that information for. It's not for advertisement, by all means. That's right. And they're using it to prop up propaganda on their particular site also. Remember that too. Reading on, though the case is squarely in the court system, it is also possible the two companies might be thrown sort of a lifeline by President Donald-elect Trump, who tried to ban TikTok during his first term, but said during the presidential campaign that he is now against such action. It's not that he's against it. He wants it under an American flag. That's what will happen. I think that's what will happen eventually, that TikTok will be sold and will be under an American banner. He wants to save TikTok. See, that's the difference. Representative Michael Waltz, Trump pick for National Security Advisor, said Friday during an interview on Fox Business. The law signed by President Joe Biden in April was a culmination of a year-long saga in Washington over a short-form video sharing app, which the government sees as a national security threat due to its connections in China. The U.S. said it had concern about TikTok's collecting vast swaths of user data, including sensitive information on viewing habits that could fall into the hands of the Chinese government through coercion. Officials have also warned the proprietary algorithm that fuels what users sees on the app is vulnerable to manipulation by the Chinese authorities, who can use it to shape content on their platform in a way that's difficult to detect. The European Union on Friday expressed similar concerns as it investigates intelligence that suggests Russia possibly abused the platform to influence elections in Romania. Today's decision is an important step in blocking the Chinese government from weaponizing TikTok, Attorney General Merrick Garland said in a statement Friday. TikTok, which has sued the government over the law in May, has long denied that it could be used by Beijing to spy or manipulate Americans. We know this is a lie because basically the experts have come forward on that. It is attorneys that have accurately pointed out that the U.S. hasn't provided evidence to show that the companies handed over user data to Chinese government or manipulated content for Beijing's benefit. I just love lawyers, they just say, you don't have it. They also have argued that the law predicts on future risks, which the Department of Justice has emphasized, pointing in part to unspecific actions it claims the two companies have taken in the past due to demands from the Chinese government. And there's a lot more to this article, so I would go out and go read it. But in the short run and long, I don't want it to be banned, but if it comes down to it, if it's not sold and it's going to be still a threat to people that using it, then basically, yeah, it needs to go. But if it's sold, yes, a company can build it up properly. It already has its millions of users here in the West, and they could build it up as a new company itself and continue growing and allow for competition. See, that's the thing about it is, people say, they say, if they get rid of TikTok, that's the. We still have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have Rumble, we have Odyssey. There are many sites out there that are similar to what TikTok putting out in short format and long format, even on X itself as well, as X is moving more video product straight through and allowing to, if you sign up and pay the monthly fees, you can put a long form video as well from short and long. So this is not, there's other companies that it can be done. Some people will say, but TikTok makes it easier because they have, all this little apps and stuff like that. I tell you, there's plenty of software out there. A lot of it's free these days that you can make some great videos. Yeah, there's some great talent out there. If you're good at TikTok, you could be good at YouTube. You could be good at Rumble and anything else. If you've been successful on TikTok, and there've been others on there. I mean, I can go Ricky Berwick, who's back on there, who happens to be very successful on there. And there's many others down the line that have TikTok accounts, but they also have YouTube accounts, they have Rumble accounts, they have Instagram accounts, and they're doing a business. Eventually down the line, they're going to be coming for the rest of Google and YouTube for a lot of the reasons. Remember, we complained, the old Twitter, not X, but Twitter, was doing a lot of blocking conservative views and stuff like that. Same thing with Facebook, same thing with YouTube, And eventually we're going to get a hold of that situation. Because TikTok is doing the same thing as well. They're manipulating, but in a different way. At a higher level of censorship, of manipulation. Remember, like I said, a lot of people have died so far because of TikTok. And you may say, well, you get that on YouTube and stuff like that. But see, the difference is with YouTube and Facebook, they know when to shut it down. They look to shut it down. Whereas TikTok will let it run for a while. How long was the... actually, I don't even know if it's finished yet, where they were stealing Kia cars. The Kia challenge that was on there. We still hear a story every once in a while. Or the blackout challenge. Remember the blackout challenge? How many kids died because of that? Remember that? ByteDance needs to be held responsible for this. And I hope in a court will hold them responsible for it, for the deaths that they caused because of this. They say, well, it's the algorithm put it on there. Soon as somebody died, it should have been banned. Those type of videos should have been stopped. But they knew, and they were manipulating the situation to allow those to continue. And this is what happens on there. So this is something we have to look at in 2025, see what happens. So let me know in the comments for your thoughts about this. Are you on TikTok? Or do you not trust TikTok and you're not on it at all? We are not on TikTok. We won't be on TikTok. That's the one situation. People said, well, you're missing out on it. No. One thing about the TikTok situation, you may make money, but it's at a hefty price to do it. Same way that we get emails and on our comments lines where people, they come in to say, like, we can help push your videos more forward on there. I don't trust a lot of them, especially since they are, they're coming with numbers that are not even in the U.S. So comment, like, share this video, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and continue to check out all of our other videos here on CutieCast TV, Madman with the Show, and Taco Thursday. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and so long.